Signing number 6 is now through the door at Boro as in-demand French centre-back Adilson Malanda has joined from Charlotte FC. Well, kind of. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and we're back with another video about another new signing. It is signing number 6 that has come into the doors at Rockcliffe and then swiftly U-turned and, well, kind of gone straight back out again, jumped on a flight on United Airlines and gone straight back to the MLS. But we've technically signed Adilson Malanda from Charlotte FC. He has gone back on loan to the MLS club until the end of their season, which is October. They might then have a playoff campaign, which would take them into December, meaning he can then be registered to officially play for Boro in January. So it is a buy/loaning back to his now former club, and this is a deal that's come from nowhere. Literally, the other day, Boro's open training session, when all the noise was around Sverre Nypen, he being seen there, of course, signing autographs. Another player was seen in the crowd chatting away to Rob Edwards and Kieran Scott and the likes, and it was the French centre-half Adilson Malanda. This is what was said on Boro's website. In-demand defender Adilson Malanda is the 6th signing of a busy summer transfer window for Boro after agreeing to join from MLS side Charlotte FC. The terms of the deal will see Malanda immediately loaned back to the US team until the end of the year. Charlotte are currently 7th in the Eastern Conference, which is the final spot for automatic qualification in the playoffs. An 8th or 9th place finish would entail a wildcard game to decide playoff status. The 23-year-old who was previously with Nimes and Rodez, I'd never heard of him, has made almost 100 MLS appearances and has attracted interest from a number of top European clubs, including PSV and Benfica. Born in France, Malanda is of Congolese descent. He is the club's 2nd recent signing from the US, of course, following the footsteps of Aidan Morris, who joined last summer. He has signed a 5.5-year deal with Boro and reflected on his move to the Riverside by saying, "I feel really good to be here and I've had a good welcome. It's a historic club and to be part of it is really exciting. There was a lot of talks and I'm happy we could make it happen. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do in the future." Jumping on to the Northern Echo, Dom Shaw, the legend that he is, said this: Middlesbrough fought off competition from multiple top clubs to the signing of Adilson Malanda, who put pen to paper on a long-term contract at the Riverside before initially returning to Charlotte on loan. It is understood, now this is mental, the deal is worth $8.5 million, which equates to £6 million. Malanda will see out the MLS season with Charlotte before joining up with Boro in January. Boro's recruitment chiefs are understood to be delighted with the capture of Malanda, who was wanted by clubs including PSV and Club Bruges this summer and Benfica back in January. Agreeing to the loan and allowing Malanda to finish the US season was key in getting the deal done, and is a situation Boro are comfortable with given that they are well stocked in centre-half. Malanda has been on Boro's radar for a while, and recruitment bosses took their opportunity to sign the 23-year-old this summer rather than risk holding off and missing out in future windows. It then goes on to mention the quotes that he gave, of course, when joining the club. There's other quotes from the general manager of Charlotte FC, and it finishes by, of course, mentioning their current situation in the playoffs in the MLS and that he can register for Boro, as we say, in the second half of the season. Now, in terms of this deal, this signing, I like it. I really like the idea that Boro are future-proofing our centre-back position. And a lot of people have asked the question, and it's a fair question, do we need a centre-back? And right now, I would say the answer's probably not. As Dom Shaw said in that article, we're not badly stocked in centre-back at the moment. You know, Luke Ayling and Neto Borges, albeit not natural centre-halves, can help out in them wide centre-half areas. You've got George Edmondson, you've got Dale Fry, you've got Darragh Lenihan. So we have got bodies there for now. However, Dale Fry's out of contract at the end of this season. I do think he'll probably get an extension, in fairness. Darragh Lenihan's out of contract as well. Will he get an extension? I think if he stays fit this season, he's got a chance. If he isn't, doesn't stay fit, riddled with injuries, he might not. You're then looking at Luke Ayling, as I say, Neto Borges, as I say, they're not natural centre-halves, so you want tried and tested players in them positions, specialists in them positions, you could say. Plus, I think Luke Ayling is definitely into his final year as a Boro player and will probably be released in the summer. And then the only other player you're looking at, as backup is George Edmondson, who I think a lot of Boro fans aren't fully convinced is quite up to top championship standards. So you're already looking at 3 players there who are either probably not going to be deemed good enough, might leave or be released. So Boro might not need to bolster in that area right now, but we certainly might in a year's time. So I really like the fact that we have noticed that this is a player who is clearly in demand by some top European clubs, and we've acted now while we can to get him through the door. It's sensible, it's wise, it's us being aware of what's happening around us and the timing and the other clubs as well. So it's good that we've jumped on this and got it done now. And I think also the fact that he'll come in January, I think is good, because if everyone is fit, fingers crossed, that should mean that he can use the second half of this season as a more bedding in period, getting used to the club, getting used to the championship, getting used to English football and his new surroundings, so that by the time next season starts, wherever we are, he will be settled and good to go. So I do like that idea that he will have a gradual bedding in period, unless we're of course crippled in that position. He might need to be thrown in the deep end. But in an ideal world, I think this works in terms of timing. But the one big question mark I have is the fee. Now, maybe this is just me not quite recognising how good of a player he might be, because he does sound very highly rated. The word from Charlotte FC is that we've got a fantastic centre-back, one of the best in the MLS. And we can't turn our nose up at the MLS because we've probably got, at the minute, one of the best championship players who's probably ever come from the MLS in Aidan Morris, who is an absolute outstanding footballer. So we shouldn't turn our nose up at him being one of the best players in the MLS. And there might be another one joining him in Max Arvsden from Columbus Crew if Boro can get their left wing back this summer. So I don't mind that he's come from the MLS. I understand his reputation, and it sounds like he is a top player. And if you're wanted by PSV and Benfica, then you've got to be pretty darn good. So getting him in the Championship sounds like a real coup for Boro. I just can't quite believe we've spent £6 million on him. I mean, when we have other areas like striker and left wing back where we seemingly, have had targets that we've just not been able to pay enough for yet. We bid for Arveston, we bid for the young lad from Metz, whose name escapes me. Both of them deals got rejected because they weren't quite what the selling club wanted. Boro clearly do have the cash to probably up them deals and get them players in. But we've chose to go for this defender and put £6 million worth into it, which it surprised me. I'm going to be honest. Now, obviously, it's not going to be £6 million up front. Obviously, that's just not how football works these days. There'll be an upfront fee and there'll be a number of instalments, and that will probably be paid over his 5.5-year contract. So we might only be paying 1 or 2 or 3 million up front. But still, I just find it crazy that Boro have committed to a £6 million package on a centre-half when it's not really a priority position at this moment in time. So that can only tell me that he must be good, and we might have a top centre-half on our hands and an exciting one to come in the new year. I just thought, given the noise around Boro and the apparent need to sell and all the players we need, when I saw us committing to a £6 million deal, I sort of had to sit back and go, what? Like that? Fair enough, Boro. We are absolutely splashing it at the moment when we thought we had no money whatsoever. So an exciting transfer. I really like it. I think he looks really good. He's a huge centre-back. He's only 23, so he's a perfect age, really, coming into his prime. So very excited for this one. Look forward to seeing him in January. Hope he has an injury-free, successful end to his career in the MLS. And that continues when he joins Boro in January. So let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Your thoughts on the player, the fee. That is an interesting one as well. And we'll keep an eye on what happens in the coming days. There's apparently bids coming in for Hackney. There's interest in Azaz. I feel like there are a lot of twists and turns left of this transfer window yet. So keep your eyes peeled. And if you want to keep updated on it all, subscribe to this very YouTube channel and follow me on all my social platforms, because there'll be plenty of stuff on Twitter and plenty of short form content on my TikTok too. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.